That was the script. I know where you live. And that's kind of not a joke. In the United States, you can look up on all of these creepy people search websites. Your personal information is just sitting there. It's just waiting to be found. You have stuff like your phone number, your name, your email. All this stuff is on those people search websites for anyone to view. That's really creepy. Anyone can type in your name and find out where exactly you live. And there's very little that you personally can do about it. So you may wonder, like, where do they get this data? It's not like they have some guy posted up outside my house monitoring my habits. Well, fortunately, they kind of do. So let's say, you're an avid shopper, you put your email and, all your contact info into this shopping website, I don't know, like Sephora or something. I know clothes. But you put in all your information, right? Your email, your contact info, even your shipping stuff. So, you want to get something shipped to your house. You put that information in. And then the company collects it. And there's very few laws in the U.S. that really regulate how that information is used, processed, stored, everything like that. So they then sell this information. They will sell stuff like your address, who you are, literally everything about you is monetized. They sell it based on a profile. They attach a value to you. So you are probably worth like, I don't know, $3 for these advertisers. And they buy it in these big bulk packages. And then they use that information to target you with personalized ads. So you buy more. Isn't that great? They make you spend a shit ton of money based on these like personalized ads. It's insane. I don't know how this is like a legal thing. In some countries it isn't. So in Europe you have stuff like the GDPR, which people search websites aren't really a thing in Europe because that's illegal. But in the United States, you can go on to like Been Verified or White Pages or any other sort of like website. They're very creepy. I don't know if you use them. They're insane. I used one. I put in my name, which you guys aren't having. But I put in my personal name. And oh my God. For one, they lie. They'll say you have a criminal record. I know I don't have a criminal record. And they say that for like everybody. Like I put in my friends' names and stuff like that. And it's still, you have a criminal record. I know you don't. And also, the bar will like, it'll start at like, they'll do a countdown. And it's like, there's no countdown. It's a database. It doesn't like take 3 minutes for you to get the data on me. Aside the point, I went into that website, put in my name. It revealed things that I didn't even know about myself, like habits and relatives. I didn't even know some of the people that it like connected me with. Like, I don't know who that is. It knows, apparently. And the thing is, too, is they actually kind of have people posted up in your homes that are collecting that data. So you have stuff like, we're going to whisper it, Google, because I have a Google device, and it creeps me the fuck out. That thing, it's always listening for like those trigger words. I'm not going to say it. And with these trigger words, it activates and starts recording. So if it is listening for those trigger words, then it's probably listening all the damn time. We put these spyware devices in our house. So you have Google, Alexa, God knows what else. I'm not really a techie kind of guy. And they collect all that data on you. We're surrounded by stuff like phones. Phones collect a shit ton of data. And not only that, we have apps like TikTok, which can collect your precise location and a bunch of other data. I don't use TikTok because it kind of creeps me out. And also it's just, bad with the swiping. Aside the point, that's from like a foreign country. We're giving a foreign country access to like the data of all Americans. Like all that personal demographic data is just kind of handed off, and we don't know kind of where it goes. Little weird, don't know why we do that. But there's very little when it comes to data protection laws that like we actually have. I mean, I know California has one, Virginia has one, but they're nowhere near as robust as like other countries. And this data, they keep digesting it. They keep getting more and more from us. And do you know what happens when you store the data in a server? Well, sometimes that server gets hacked. And when that server gets hacked, guess who has your personal data? Criminals on the dark web. They sell it. They'll release it in these massive batches. Like the biggest, I think, was like collection number 1 or collection number 7. It was something with collection in it. I looked on Have I Been Pwned? It's the website you can put in like your email, and it'll kind of tell you, like, oh, has your email been found in a data breach? Most people have had their email in one of these data breaches. They have millions of, I think billions probably, of records are just out there on the dark web. And you have even stuff like your social security number, which, by the way, don't put your social security number into any website that asks it. It's kind of stupid. It's like, it's such like a inherent piece of like everything. That social security number is what ties you to your employment, to just, well, social security. It ties you to everything. Never put in that number unless it's like on an official government website. Sorry about the little tangent. But all that stuff is public. Like France, the country, yeah, as if it would be anything else, had all of their citizens' data leaked and put on the internet. And we're so reliant on these internet systems that when they go down, oh my God, can you imagine if the internet went down? That would be terrible. I don't even know what people would do. It would be chaos. And we're so reliant on these systems that when they collapse, and if and when they collapse, one hacker can take down the entire country. We're so reliant on these systems, and we're so reliant, and we put so much trust, we put so much goddamn trust in these companies to store our data properly. And they kind of don't. There's so many data breaches and all of this other shit. And then we're marketed to every single day. You're like barraged with ads. You go on Instagram, oh my God, there's like 5 ads in between like every like short or reel or whatever. Like the story. Yeah. I'm young. I should know this. But you have stuff like that, and it's just, there's so much like ad stuff. You're advertised on your TV. The phone is basically a mobile advertisement. Like, I don't think Apple is doing, like, giving us this instant communication out of like the goodness of their hearts. Like, and then you have companies like WhatsApp and Instagram, Meta, I hate that name. I just call them Facebook. But like Meta, I guess, they're not, when you use stuff like WhatsApp, it says it's encrypted. Is it really? Like, I just don't trust them with that, considering how Meta is with, like, information collecting. I would like to keep my private life private. I don't think that a bunch of random people should know where I live, what my email is, and all this stuff that is nobody else's business. And I think we need stricter data privacy laws. We should be able to be like, hey, that's private info. I want it off. And you can request your info off of these people search websites. And it is a process. Let me tell you. You have to go through so many hoops and like loophole, and they might not even approve it. They could just ignore your request. There's no like law that's like that just abolishes people search websites. That just makes it so that your personal data stays private. And this isn't, when you have those services too, I think, I forgot the names of the specific ones. You have, I don't even know, but they like remove your personal data for you. They'll send out the request. Those, I guess, are good, but at the same time, it's kind of dealing with an issue that shouldn't be there in the first place. And then these companies will make money off of you removing your data that should not be there in the first place, if you catch my drift. It's stupid. I don't think that all of our personal data should be there. It's a shame. And the thing is, too, is that it would not take too much to pass a law that says, hey, you can't have people's personal data, bought and sold. I don't think that we as human beings should be, monetized in that way. I would rather stuff like my address, my phone number, my personal habits, I would rather have that stuff stay private. I don't want these spyware devices, because that's kind of what they are. Like, your Amazon thermostat or whatever probably collects information on you. They know when you get home and when you sleep, because you can set it in a sleep mode and it'll lower the temperature in your house to like 60 degrees or something, for example. It just seems we're willingly getting spyware into our homes. Spyware is not a good thing. And all of the systems that we use, computers, phones, they all monitor us and they collect data on us. Like, even your Windows PC collects data on you. You have to go into the settings and turn off the personalized ad feature. I've been wanting to transition to Linux for some time just because I don't really trust Microsoft. I'm sorry. I don't know what they do with my data. I transitioned away from Microsoft Office to like LibreOffice, because I want to just not pay $90 to write a Word document. So it's just, we need stricter data privacy laws. It's just as that simple. We need to be willing to push our politicians and, push the people in charge to be like, hey, I don't want my phone number available to any guy that searches up my name. And I think that's a very basic thing. But the thing is that companies like Meta, the other ones, I don't know, I'm not, I spend a lot of my time outside. I don't really pay much attention to social media brands. Google is another one. But they have such massive lobbies in the United States. So, when they do start discussing stuff like data privacy and everything, the lobbies will just give politicians that support that money, or they'll take money away from the politicians that don't agree with their point of view, if you get what I'm saying. Sorry, that took a little while. Got to get the brain flowing. Aside the point, they'll lobby and they do a bunch of this shady, kind of illegal shit, but it's technically illegal. It's technically legal. And a lot of people wonder why nothing gets done in America, in this country, and you have this, like the politicians that we elect, they have a lot of the same donors, a lot of them do. You can look on Open Secrets or something and, see where the money goes. I do it occasionally for like my representatives and stuff. A lot of them are the same type of person. There's a few exceptions, There definitely there's exceptions to like every rule, just generalized. But yeah, I mean, it's sad, and even for simple issues like data privacy, even for simple issues where it's like, hey, I don't want my personal data available on the internet, even for that issue, where most Americans would probably support that. I don't know about you, but I don't want some guy having my phone number who just is random without my permission, without my consent. I also don't want me, like, I'm a guy, I hike, and, I have a dog, and stuff like that. I don't want that stuff to be monetized. I want to just not have it monetized. It's as simple as that. And it's quite sad in a way. But we need to be willing to, stand up for that. We need to be willing to stand up for our beliefs. And if we're not willing to do that, then, don't act surprised when nothing changes, because nothing really changes if nothing changes. That applies with many things in life. Most Americans would back a policy like that where it's protecting your personal privacy. And the thing is just that the current lobbyists and the current politicians, it's not very good. But anyways, I'll end this video on a great note. So I'm doing these videos unscripted now. I feel like that's a lot better. You can hear my natural cadence. I'm not reading off of a script on my computer, which is a big thing. I can make more jokes, stuff like that. It's more engaging. I feel like you guys would rather watch me joke about an issue than talk all serious like and, stoic and be like, data privacy is a real concern that all Americans are facing. That's boring. Who wants to watch that? And, you gotta be engaging. You gotta be, you gotta hack that YouTube algorithm, which I'm still kind of figuring out. It's pretty complex. I've never posted a YouTube video before this, or like before this channel, or I think I did back in like 2020, a side point. Yeah, so I hope you guys enjoyed. If you like this video and you want to see more, and you better, because I'm watching, leave a like and maybe subscribe. And let's work on making America stronger, and let's work on making America more united. So, thank you, and peace out.